The following is a paid advertisement. The views expressed are the sole responsibility of the advertiser.
I'm attorney Justin Clark. Coming up just out on You Have Real Estate, your windows of your house that you own need to be checked out. It's getting hot outside. Also, you own a business. Can you get a loan? It's all just ahead. It's You Have Real Estate.
You Have Real Estate is proudly sponsored by Renewal by Andersen, your full-service window and door replacement company. Learn more at rbafla.com.
Welcome to You Have Real Estate, brought to you by Renewal by Andersen. I am your host, Justin Clark. A great show ahead for you today, but first, the opening statement. You own a house, it's getting hot outside. The electricity bill this time of year is terrible. What can you do to lower that electricity bill? Also, you own a business right now. You feel like these are uncertain times. You want to get a business loan. What is an SBA loan and how do you get one? Great show ahead, but first it's time to ask real questions. And every weekend we ask real questions to the truly trend-setting people in Central Florida's real estate community. We kick it off today. Speaking of Renewal by Andersen, Chelsea Zirpola is here. How are you, Chelsea? Good to see you.
Great. How are you?
And to your right, my fiance, as you know. I don't think I've ever admitted that on the show, but Makaila Nichols. Hi, Makaila. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
So, first of all, happy birthday.
Thank you.
I can't believe you're here on your birthday celebrating with us. You've been and it's been an honor working with you over the last few years. Most importantly, watching the relationship between you two has been fantastic.
I think our relationship is pretty dang awesome.
I agree with that.
We do radio together now. Yeah. We hang out. She's like a sister.
But she was complaining yesterday, not about what was going on in the garage. I won't even say that on the show. But there was a leak in one of your windows. We obviously own the house together.
Yes.
And you called Chelsea immediately. But I think people don't understand, Chelsea, when it's time to see if you do need new windows. How do I know it's time to call Renewal by Andersen out?
There are so many different things that you're going to find in your home. Condensation, leaky windows, but definitely having someone come out ahead of the problems. As your home gets a little bit older, those are the things that start to go, right? The windows are inoperable or they're not efficient anymore. There's all those key things that you really need to pay attention to, but it doesn't hurt to have someone come out like Renewal by Andersen to see if there's a problem there or not.
Not like Renewal by Andersen, Renewal by Andersen. Because no, I've seen this. Yes. I've seen other window companies out there, and I've had you call me and say you've called the other window companies. The quality is simply different.
Absolutely.
These other companies, the quality of windows is just not there, just like Renewal.
Yeah, it's completely different. Custom made in the U.S., it's a super important part of that, but also making sure that we're providing Fibrex, proprietary to Renewal by Andersen, composite product that not only is the strongest, 2 times stronger than any vinyl product out there, but the right product for your home.
What did you say? This is not like some TV fodder by...
Home. No, for real. Like, I was at home. I was doing
and she, like, basically every time she sees something, she looks at me like she's yelling at me. I don't know if other...
What?
Yeah. It looks like, no, when you see something wrong with the house, you look at me like you're yelling at me.
No, I think I
you don't say anything, but I feel like you're yelling.
So I expect you to know what to do.
Okay.
But it turns out I usually know what to do.
What did you see?
I called Chelsea. I was like, hey, Chelsea, I think, well, there was like, I don't know, there was water, obviously. That shouldn't have been there, where it was like brown. It was on the blinds. It was on the ground. I'm like, okay, this is a problem.
It was basically the window seal, and it was like a stain there. But it's not like anyone had a Coke sitting there either. It was coming from the outside. That can't be a good sign.
It's not a good sign, and oftentimes those are those little things that you notice. They were like, it's not really a big deal. It is a big deal, and it's important to get those things looked at.
I agree.
And especially before you go to your QR code thing, but especially before hurricane season.
Yes.
I mean, I was talking with our friend Viv. She's like, yeah, you could just like move your sprinkler. I'm like, no, because like if this window is crap, which it is, and it wasn't from Renewal by Andersen. It was there when we bought the house, but you know, it's like it's scary with hurricane season because if it's leaking in, imagine if a storm comes through.
For sure, and you want to protect your family, and those are half the battles that we're all talking about as being prepared for the seasons ahead.
And QR code is on the screen right now for Renewal by Andersen. They will send their design consultants out and look at your windows and see what you need. Maybe you need nothing. Maybe your windows are going to be okay for a few years, but maybe they're not. And this time of year, it gets so hot, and I dread it being the financial guy in the house because the electricity bill is really out of control. It's shocking when you have people come from the north and they see the electricity bill in Florida this time of year. this has an impact on families' financial situation. Whereas if you get new windows, you can oftentimes have that electricity bill come down.
Absolutely. Every home's different in every situation. And oftentimes it's the fact that you have inefficient energy windows that are sucking out that energy. And it really takes someone to come to your home, take you through the process, listening to your concerns, looking at those high energy bills, but really helping you identify where those problem areas might be.
Yeah, a lot of times people don't want to pay cash for this entire thing. They want to pay it over time. I'm more of a pay over time guy. She's like, I want to pay cash up front. But I understand the power of cash too, and I want to conserve my cash. Renewal is Anderson's a huge company. Renewal by Anderson, a huge company. The buying power that you have for lending when it comes to windows is really a game changer.
Absolutely, and of course, you know, when we're providing those options, we give you the option to look at it as maybe you only have 2 windows, and those are the problem windows. We allow you to be able to phase your job, but also the ability to have financing and have probably the best out there when it comes to financing to make sure that we're taking care of your home and you can feel secure in that.
Yeah, and you're saving money. So let's say that you are going to get new windows on your home. You want to pay it off over time. You think about the money that you're saving every month on your electricity bill, where you're almost getting windows at times for free because of the money that you're saving. But also not just that, you're saving money, but yes, hurricane season here as well. It does feel uncomfortable. In fact, in our house, we just moved into this house. We go to our parents' house during hurricanes
It's
because
scary.
you hear a little bit of rattling. As a dad, as someone who has a family, that gets scary.
It's really scary, and not only from that perspective, if the windows aren't secure, we've heard where the windows actually fall out of the frames during a hurricane. You know, so I think now's the time to really dig in, have someone look, do you have problems before the problems happen, but also make sure that your house is secure. You know, Fibrex 2 times stronger than any vinyl product. It allows you to be able to have most expansive glass space, but not have to drag out those hurricane shutters. No one wants to do that. It's scary, they're heavy, they're dangerous. So it really allows you to feel secure during those scary seasons.
Yeah, the sliding glass doors too. We're talking about all glass. That can be a scary situation as well. How do you handle the doors?
The doors are impact resistant, right? So we have impact resistant hurricane, acclaim impact windows and doors. So it really allows you to be secure in making a good decision. We laugh when we were younger. We all used to put the broom handle or broomstick in the door because we thought that was going to keep the burglars away. But oftentimes you have to realize that's where they're able to get in. Right? Those little sliding glass doors that we forget to lock or that are inoperable, but making sure that they're safe for your family and that from a security perspective, but also there's not going to be an issue when you're worried about the heavy winds coming in during those seasons.
Yeah, we had a felon coming to the back of the house to break in, but he saw the broomstick, honey, so we're all safe now.
It's out.
Yep.
That's not how it goes normally.
No.
But you think about that, though. You think about those sliding doors and the little metal lock thing. I'm not sure that any of them lock at this point in time, really. I mean, you really need to get those safety-wise checked out, don't you?
Absolutely. We have a 5-point locking system and an auxiliary foot lock that locks into the ground. So you don't have to worry about, they're not getting in those doors, but you don't have to worry about when it really gets scary and you have debris and flying debris. Making sure that you have those impact-resistant products in your home is key.
We love you. Happy
Love
birthday.
you
I'm getting a hug. Tell Dom hello.
Thank you so much.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
QR code on the screen for Renewal by Anderson. One of our favorite people in the world here today to visit us. And thank you. Good job.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me.
And I don't know, like, I shouldn't say it. We can't, I don't want to borrow your broomstick to keep the door locked. You know what I mean? Or is it my broomstick?
What's mine is yours.
QR code on the screen for Renewal by Anderson. Call them today, please. A very quick break. When we return, Viv's in your neighborhood. Where is that? As You Have Real Estate continue. Welcome back to the show. Thanks to Renewal by Anderson. Viv goes into your neighborhood every single week. Today, it's one of the D's of Southwest Volusia County. After that, you own a business. You want to get a loan. How do you do that? Viv's in your neighborhood first.
The second most asked question I get is what areas have the best value for real estate? Well, today I'm visiting one of those, DeBary, Florida, North Orlando. Just off of I-4, it is about 25 to 30 minutes to downtown Orlando and one of the stops at the Sunrail station that can take you through Central Florida. As Central Florida continues to expand, I find that these cities along the I-4 corridor continue to grow and maintain their value. And if you're either looking for land or you want a newer home, developers agree because there are several new developments starting in the mid-300,000s. These developments are located near popular attractions like the DeBary Golf Club, Central Florida Zoo, and Gemini Springs, which I'm at right now, making them an attractive choice for families and retirees alike. Gemini Springs is closed to swimmers, but it has so much to offer, including camping, canoeing, fishing, horseback riding, a picnic area, nature trail, and a dog park.
The median household income is about $80,000. The median home value in 2024 was $380,000.
You know, I always have to mention a favorite restaurant, and I recently visited the Salted Goat, a unique eatery right off of 1792 that prides itself on farm-to-table meals. They have their staples like the piggy pasta, but you will find seasonal changes that match what's fresh and available. You might be wondering what my most asked question is. Well, here it is. What's the market like? My answer today is it's summer and the busiest seasons for moves. Rates have dropped, more inventory to choose from, and if you want a fixer-upper or new construction, it's available. Call me, Vivian Lehman, for more information on DeBary and how we can help you find a home at 407-205-0400.
Welcome back to the show. You're starting a business or you're a business owner and you need capital. Don't feel weird about that. A lot of business owners oftentimes need capital, including yours truly at times. But what do you do in that position? Who do you call? I call Lynne Singletary, number one. Lynne, how are you? Welcome to the show.
I'm well. How are you?
44 Business Capital, but a division of
Berkshire Bank.
We've heard that name, of course.
Yes.
Business capital, all right? Some people don't even understand really what that means. Someone who owns a business now, not a startup. I own a business right now. I feel a little cash poor. What do I do?
Well, first you go to your bank, right? Whatever bank you're working with. Many small businesses are shut out of the typical conventional bank financing because a lot of times, and especially like in the market today, where the economy's, a little bit in a flux, most of the larger banks will pull back. They'll stop lending, especially to small business owners. So then, the business owner is kind of left out in the cold. And so you go to an SBA lender. So SBA, U.S. Small Business Administration. So that was started in 1953. The government started under Eisenhower. And the reason it was started was because the larger banks were not meeting the needs of the smaller business owner. And so the business owner was being shut out. You need your money. You need money to keep growing, to fund your inventory, your business cycle. You couldn't get it because the banks were not interested in lending to the little guy. So here comes the SBA lending platform. I got into this 31 years ago, focusing on SBA lending. When I first got in it, there were just a handful of major players. Most banks couldn't even spell SBA, much less want to even do it, right? So there were a few banks, and mostly they were getting into it for the CRA purposes. Fast forward to today, there are tons of SBA lenders out there. And many of the larger banks established their own SBA groups because they realized they weren't meeting the needs of the business owner. So, basically that would be the step is if your bank declines you of a conventional loan, then you would reach out to an SBA lender. If your bank is a good bank, they would have an SBA group that they could recommend you go to. But even still, sometimes their credit policy, they'll take the SBA SOP or credit policy and they overlay their stricter policy on it. So even though one bank may be looking at your SBA loan and saying, no, we can't do it for whatever reason, don't give up. Go to another SBA lender and try to find one that will help.
That's my question, my next question, because a lot of these business owners out there are hardworking people, and they might have a few skeletons in their closet. Maybe they owed some money to the IRS 3 years ago, or their assistant forgot to pay the Amex bill, and it was late for a few months. And I just feel like I shouldn't even call in because I do have a few little negative marks in my credit history. What does that mean to me and my ability to get a loan?
Well, SBA lenders, for one thing, have the guarantee of the SBA. So the SBA guarantees, or the government, basically taxpayers, guarantee 75% of the outstanding loan balance. So it's basically a credit enhancement. So that allows the bank to be a little more lenient on their credit policy than a conventional lender would be. Now, if you're chronic, just have horrible credit and you've had horrible credit, then that's probably not going to fly.
Yeah.
But if you've had an issue, somebody goes through a divorce, somebody goes through an illness, just bad times.
Right.
Lenders can understand that. We have the SBA credit enhancement, so you can make some concessions to borrowers.
And so I can do a business loan, like in injecting cash in my business, but what if I want to buy real estate for my business?
Right, you can do that too.
Oh, really?
Now, on a conventional basis, if you're buying, so you want to buy an office building, you want to buy the warehouse that you've been renting and you're paying somebody else's mortgage. Now you want to build your own legacy, you want to build your own equity. When you go to a conventional lender, they're going to be asking for 20% plus closing costs. If you're looking at $1 million, $2 million building, that's a big chunk of change.
Sure.
If you go to an SBA lender, it's 10% or less sometimes to purchase that building.
Wow.
So you could really get into it with a lot less equity out of your pocket or out of your company. Again, that's the purpose of this program, is to allow the business owner to retain as much liquidity and capital in their business to keep that going versus putting in their real estate.
I love it. Lynne Singletary, 44 Business Capital. You're doing a lot of great things for the business owners in Central Florida. Thank you for all that you do.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Come back and see. It's been too long. Come back and see me soon.
I will. Just let me know.
Give her a call, by the way. If you are a business owner and you need money, you need to make some purchases, Lynne is fantastic. She'll take time with you and make sure we get this deal done. Quick break. You Have Real Estate continues. Justin here with the beautiful Makaila. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
There's been a major shift happening in the air conditioning industry, and Old Ash, together with Duquesne, is leading the way.
Committed to the future, Old Ash introduces a new generation of systems that use R454B refrigerant, an innovative alternative that reduces global warming potential by 78% compared to the R410A.
This change is perfect opportunity for anyone looking to replace an old unit or install a new air conditioning system. Old Ash wants you to understand what these changes mean so you can make the best decisions for you, your home, and your family. With a simplified product lineup, compatibility with both R410A and R454B equipment, and available refrigerant detection system kits, the transition is smooth and efficient.
Old Ash technicians are fully trained and certified in these new procedures, ensuring a professional installation that meets the latest industry standards. And most importantly, you'll have peace of mind knowing that their team is with you every step of the way.
With Duquesne and Old Ash, every unit installed is a step towards cleaner air and a more sustainable future. Stay informed, stay cool. Trust Duquesne.
Give them a call today to learn more about these changes and how they could affect your AC unit, and let their trusted service providers guide you through it. Old Ash, educating ourselves to educate you.
Welcome back to the show. So you're thinking about investing in real estate, some things that you need to think about, right? So a lot of people want to flip houses, but other people want to invest in real estate and rent them out and really create wealth that way. So a couple of things you have to think about when you're investing in real estate is how much outflow of cash do you need to actually acquire the real estate? And then as you rent them, how much cash are you going to have coming in? And I think the biggest part of that is really the outlay of cash. At the beginning, Elisha Lopez joins me, Ocala Realty World. You can buy more in Marion County, in Levy County, in Northern Florida than you can down in Orlando. That's a big part of real estate investing, is how much you have to put out at the beginning.
Absolutely, and the investor's not living there, so really the area doesn't matter the same way it does when you're a first-time home buyer or looking for a property that you're going to live in. So really it's just your bottom line and how much return.
Yeah, you work with a lot of investors, and the question is too, all right, am I going to flip it or am I going to sit on it and rent them for many years? What goes into that decision for people?
I mean, it's going to be the structure of their investments. A lot of times they need to move their money from one project to another for tax reasons, things like that. But it's really personal preference, I guess, and also how much they're going to be able to profit.
There's a lot of house flipping shows on TV now. We've all seen them, and people are like, yeah, I'm going to be a house flipper. It's easy. You know what I mean? It's easy. It's really not. So you have to really know how to buy the place, how to spend your money on the improvements of the house, and then how to sell it as well. How easy or not easy is flipping houses?
It's only easy after you have experience and have done it for a while, and you have your team, you know, your painter, your drywall person, all like the different, you can just have a handyman, the jack of all trades in a sense, because there's like a lot of little things, and the next thing you know, you're over budget and you're in the negative.
Yeah, I was talking to Dallas Lehman about this the other day, about getting a mortgage for investment real estate. And he's like, of course we get we do investment real estate all the time when it comes to mortgages. When you think about, okay, I'm gonna have to spend $300,000 or $400,000 to buy one house, or maybe spend 20% of that to put down on a mortgage and get a mortgage, you really can buy more real estate all at the same time. And instead of just buying one house, buy two. But also, if you look at Orlando versus, say, somewhere in Marion County, you might be able to buy two houses in Marion County versus one house in Orlando. That's huge.
It really is. And because the cost of living in Marion County is so much lower, like 45% lower than it is in Orange County, that is huge. But at the same time, just because the cost of living is lower, that means the rents are a little bit lower than they're going to be here in Orange County too.
Yeah. How do you might not know this, I don't know, how do the rents compare, you say, with a 3-2 in Orlando versus in Marion County? Any clue? Sorry to put you on the spot.
No, I'd say it's about 25% at a minimum, 25% more in Orange County than Marion County.
It's not that big of a difference, though. I mean, you're still going to be able to rent the house out. How hard is it to find renters in Marion County, would you say?
Oh, it's not hard to find, but to find good ones, that's the trick, because a lot of people want to rent, especially if they've had a foreclosure, they were evicted, things like that. But what we do is we scrub the tenant, because we don't want to have evictions and we don't want a property owner to have to go through all that.
Yeah, and that's one of the differences with Ocala Realty World. By the way, if you're looking to invest in real estate, I love Northern Florida for your investment, because so much more bang for your buck. You might be able to buy 2 or 3 houses instead of buying one house here to really start your investment career. But also, when you trust Ocala Realty World, and by all means, the QR code is on the screen. She'll send you listings as they come live. But then when you want to go rent the places to someone else, property management right in-house.
Oh yeah, I mean, even my own agents, they use Melissa, our property manager, to rent their properties and manage their properties for themselves, their family, because they know how awesome she is.
True. So let's say that I am getting into investing in real estate. I'm going to rent out the places that I own. Let's say I own one house. Should I handle the management myself or let someone do it?
I mean, obviously, I would want the owner to use us, because that's a service we provide. But take that aside, the amount of stress that you deal with a tenant, if you don't know how to really manage all that efficiently, it's not worth 10% of the monthly rent to get rid of all of that headache.
What I've also found is when you use a property manager, they have so many connections to vendors, where whether it's the AC company or whatever it is, those connections really help make whatever repairs I have to make even less expensive. I think those vendor connections are huge.
Oh, they really are, and because we know that they do a good job, and again, the owner doesn't have to worry, because if you don't have those type of service people, and the same thing on the investment side, it's going to cost you so much more, and a lot of times it's because you have to fire them, hire somebody else, so you end up spending 2, 3, 4 times the amount that you should have.
Spinning wheels and spending money, but I just had a really good feeling about this tenant. I didn't need to do any credit check. They seemed like a really good person. Those are the ones you got to watch out for.
Oh yeah, big time. Yeah.
Elisha Lopez, Ocala Realty World. Great job as always. QR code on the screen for her right now. Thank you to all of my guests, to our amazing crew here as always. Most importantly, thank you. See you again next week for more You Have Real Estate.
The proceeding was a paid advertisement. The views expressed were the sole responsibility of the advertiser.